Hello everybody. This week I thought I would cover the topic of culling fish. This is something all breeders must go through if they want to have good strong lines. This is my method. This is not the only method. I use clove oil. You can buy it at any health food store, just your normal essential oil, nothing special about it. And I have a small bucket that I use for all my culling. And I will put, I'd say about half a gallon of water, if that, just a little bit. It depends on the size of the fish that I'm culling. And I would say per half gallon, I'm using 5 to 6 drops. It's just kind of overkill, but it puts them down faster, so it doesn't bother me, and that's just my personal issues. Other people cull by using larger predatory fish that will eat the culls. Some people will put them in a bucket full of ice and salt so it's super, super cold. It puts the lights out almost immediately. Some people throw them in the freezer. I personally have a problem with that, but again, I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. It's just not necessarily the most humane. So anyway, when it's time to cull, I pull out a bunch of fish out of my tank and I put them in a holding cup so I can give them a good look. Part of my problem is my eyesight. I have problems with my eyes, and it's just something I personally deal with. So you guys might see things I overlook here. But I look at each fish, and what I'm looking for is the shape of the fins when they're this tiny size. Um, some fish may not necessarily have the right body shape, but I have found over time that fish go through this gawky stage. I don't know what else to call it. Um, and by the time they get dime to nickel sized, then it's real obvious if they're going to be football shaped or have some other conformity issues. And after I've gone through the whole container, there's two here. One is actually a cull. So out of this whole tank, I only ended up with one cull. And the platinum is the one that's the cull. And the other fish, the gold marble ghost, looks fine as far as I can tell at this point in time. But if you look real closely at that platinum, one of the ventrals is actually pointing straight up in the air and against the body, and that's definitely not something you want. So that fish is going to be culled. And as I said at the beginning, culling is a necessary evil, but we need to do this since we are taking the place of angelfish parents. And here's another tank, one of the Bulgarian green spawns. It happened to have 3 culls in it. The 2 lighter colored ones, the issues with them are the anal fin. They're pointing straight backwards. Those fins, I watched them for the longest time before I decided to cull them. But the anal fin never moves. It's like it's frozen or something's wrong. And so that's not a desired trait because you want the fin shape between the anal and the dorsal fin to match and be even. And this black one, I'm sad to cull it because it looks like it's a double dark, and I really would like to get some double darks going again. But the fins are just far too out of whack to even think about trying to save it. Both the dorsal fin looks like it's weak and it has a kink in it, as well as the anal fin. And coming up here pretty soon, you'll get a headshot and you'll see what I mean about how the fins are just too far gone to even want to try and work with this fish on any level. Most likely all that is caused by genetic issues, which I do not want in my lines or in anyone else's tank. And here's a quick shot. I know it's sad to see this part, but some people might be curious. When I put the fish into my cull bucket, the fish hang out in there and they slowly will go to sleep. They just stop moving and lean over, and it's lights out for them. So I thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned from this. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe so you can see videos that come out in the future. And here are a few of my recent videos that you may like to watch. I thank you so much for watching tonight, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.